Alright, hello, and welcome to Clash of the Titans, game number 3 between st4rk and DauT. And wow, I thought that DauT would take Regicide Fortress here. He's not, he's taken Nomad, and this is going to be potentially the last game right here, because DauT is currently leading the series 2-0, and that is well, the last two games have been pretty damn good from DauT, I've got to say. Just getting distracted by the chat right there. Neither of them doing a restart though. They're talking about restarts now, but of course we do have spectator delay on. So this is delayed by 4 minutes, and obviously we're watching it, so there is no restart, so we know that much for sure. Anyway, over to the left of the map in blue, putting up his TC right now, we do have Tyrant DauT. He's playing as Persians. And over to the right of the map in red, we've got ourselves Mr. st4rk playing as Persians as well. And usually in Nomad, well, not usually, but a lot of the times in Nomad, players are very close together with their TC spots. But this time, it's actually pretty much as far apart as you could possibly get. I mean, if you look at st4rk's TC right here, he is all the way over this side, DauT all the way over on the left side. So, looking like, I don't know what they're chatting about in the chat. I'm getting really distracted by that, but I suppose there's not a lot I can do. st4rk saying that he built a lumber camp first. DauT saying that should we restart, but obviously they've not restarted, so I don't really know what the issue is there. st4rk clearly not doing a lumber camp first. I've got no idea what he's talking about, because he did a TC first, quite obviously. Obviously, the rules state that in Nomad you have to put up a TC or a dock first. You can't do any other building. But st4rk clearly didn't do that. I don't know, maybe he's playing mind games with DauT. I've got no idea. Anyway, as I was saying, this map very different every time. Nomad can be extremely messy, but in this game it looks like we're going to have a pretty interesting one, because they are very far apart, which is almost unusual. So DauT right now, getting up that dock, st4rk doing the same, fishing ship's going to come out, and I've got to say, st4rk with a much better fishing location at the moment. Obviously there are a lot more fish in this lake than down over on the left of the map. Of course there are a few big fish over here, 4 patches to be precise, which is okay, I suppose. It's not a small amount, but st4rk definitely going to have a little bit more long-term fishing over here if he does continue to add in those fishing ships. Of course, on Nomad, it is a very good hybrid of land and water. Deciding whether you want to go full land or deciding whether you want to go full water is always a tough decision, I suppose. A lot of players, if they've got the opportunity to wall up, they'd perhaps like to go for full land and, full water. Of course, in this situation, both of them have got gold very close to their town centres, and of course lots of wood as well. So it's actually pretty likely that I think that they'll both go for fairly heavy water builds here. Going for land, especially when they're so far away from each other, is obviously going to be a little bit difficult. So I really think that in this map, it's likely that we'll see them both go for quite a bit of water here, which is interesting because that's not something you always see that often on Nomad. Sometimes when you're watching Nomad, you just see pure land because they're so close together, but this time likely to be different altogether. Looks like st4rk doesn't have too much resources to begin with. He has 2 sheep even, not sheeps. And he's got a boar over on the far north side. Another boar right over here, but it's quite far away. A deer patch on the left of his TC, but no real access. Oh, there's another boar down here on the south. You could take that, I suppose. DauT has got 1 boar already in. Another boar is over on the right side, which is actually going to go take in right now. And he has got quite a lot of sheep and a close deer patch as well. So DauT's looking pretty good for food, actually. Of course, both of them with a few wood collectors right now, so they can keep that production of fishing ships up. It's too worthwhile not to make the fishing ships right now. And we'll just see them take those boars in, take the sheep, take the deer, get up to the feudal age, probably around 26, 28 pop, and we'll see what they do from there. I feel like, this map would probably lend itself well in this situation to actually take a couple of galleys on water and then probably go for a fast castle and make fires or something like that. Of course, Persians are a very versatile civilization. Knights a good option in the castle age, as well as, of course, camels. good for raiding and hitting those gold spots that might be a bit further away from the TC. Do of course have the option to go with fires on the water as well as galleys, war galleys, and they're very versatile. I love the Persians. I think they're a great civilization to watch on Nomad especially. DauT here though. Oh man, I was going to say DauT's found Stark's dock, but he's not. He's so close to that dock, and I don't think he's going to find that. If he sends his villager to here, perhaps he'll see it, but he has scouted the coastline, as you can see, looking for that dock from Stark, but he's going to assume that Stark's probably docked on this backside, sending a sheep down here to check that out right now. And obviously finding your opponent's dock is so crucial because that will influence your decision whether or not you're going to take a lot of water. He has seen, though, that house from Stark right there, perhaps expecting that a dock could be nearby, but it's not going to be the case. And Stark actually has docked on this north side right here, and down so close, but no, not seeing that at all, which is really kind of interesting. Stark, very little scouting done so far though, not really scouting so much with his villager. As you see, he's not scouted along the shoreline, so he doesn't know where DauT is, he doesn't know where DauT's dock is either, and that's kind of a big deal. DauT right now though, got to keep scouting that shoreline, looking for Stark's dock. Little does he know is it's actually right here, and he's just missed it. That's kind of funny. But I'd be really interested to see what DauT does right now, whether he's actually going to be putting the pressure on the water or not. Stark then doesn't know where DauT is, doesn't know where his dock is, but yeah, I was going to say, going to keep on adding in those fishing ships. I actually was thinking he's going to add in some galleys right now, perhaps add a second dock, but right now probably just going to go for a pretty fast castle, actually. Asking DauT to X his fish. And this is kind of funny because it's not something that usually happens. Usually the players are much closer together and they find each other much sooner. DauT, though, you can see he's got a lot more map coverage. He clearly knows where Stark is, and it looks like he will go for land right here. There's a barracks going down, and, you know, perhaps we'll see a stable and some scouts. He could go for archers, but scouts lend themselves better to going into knights a little bit later on. Galleys for DauT though, and look, he's sending those galleys down to the south of the map, assuming that Stark has his dock down here, but he's not. There we go. He's just researched Town Watch, and he will see that dock right now. Will he change his gather point for this galley though? He's got to notice, surely. But you can see quite clearly that getting the Town Watch there really made the difference. Just able to scout that out, and still not changing the gather point though, so he's not noticed the dock just yet. He needs to keep a close eye on that. It looks like he's going to keep it quite aggressive though. Archery range is on the front right now, so he will go for archers right here. And he's going to be pushing those in pretty quickly. Oh, sorry about that. My phone going off right there. And going to be pushing in with archers right here. Stark has got a barracks, putting down a stable and a blacksmith, but of course archers, when massed up enough, will deal with scouts pretty easily. And DauT, surely he's noticed the dock from Stark right here. If he sees this dock, he will put up galleys right here. Stark though, still no galleys from him, and it looks like it will just be an all-out land war, but the first person to really go for water here will get a very big boost. Looks like we've got a little pause. Hopefully it won't be too long. There we go. Unpausing straight away. And in comes DauT right now. Archers, villagers. Looks like he's going to get super aggressive. He could put a tower up right here on this gold, and that would deny Stark all of his gold. Of course, DauT's almost walled out this gold at the back. So there's a tower going up. Not a great position on that, actually. It's not really covering all that much, but maybe later on it could be useful to him. Gonna get probably a one villager for free right here. And Stark, I actually thought he was gonna make some scouts there, but he's actually going for a fast castle, which is, I think, a good decision to make. He will, of course, be able to start making knights then, and as we know, knights are gonna make pretty short work of these archers. DauT, nowhere near to castle right now. He is still feudal, and he will be for some time by the looks of things. He's quite far away from the 800, 200 gold that he needs, and continue to pump out those archers. Of course, if he can do the damage, he could really stop Stark from pushing out once he reaches the castle age, but I think Stark